Yes, some big breaking news coming in from Karnataka. Karnataka Chief Minister Bommai says the anti-conversion bill has been passed in the assembly, which is why the government is now trying to pass the ordinance, the anti-conversion bill through an ordinance today. Karnataka cabinet is currently meeting. The meeting is underway while the anti-conversion bill is being taken up in the meeting for an ordinance to be passed. Karnataka Protection of Right to Freedom of Religion Bill was in fact passed in the Legislative Assembly back in December 2021. It is pending the passage in the Legislative Council where the ruling BJP is one short of majority. This is of course something that the Karnataka government has been mulling over, bringing the anti-conversion bill, which has been largely objected by the opposition, Congress in Karnataka. Karthik joining us on the phone line for more on that. Karthik, we are looking at the anti-conversion bill that has been taken up in a high-level meeting by the Bommai government to pass it through an ordinance. What's expected today?
Well, Nabila, currently the Karnataka cabinet meeting is underway and all cabinet ministers and the Chief Minister Bommai are currently discussing and taking up the issue of the anti-conversion bill, and it is likely to get unanimous approval from the cabinet, after which an ordinance will be passed in the upcoming assembly session in Karnataka. Now, after the ordinance is passed in the assembly session, in another 6 months' time, it should also be passed in the Legislative Council. Now the BJP is currently, having the less number of seats, one less number of seats in the Legislative Council. So after now, next month, we have 7 seats that are going for polls, the MLC in MLC seats. So after the next elections, the BJP is hoping that its numbers would go up in the council and it would give an advantage. So that's why it is going through the ordinance route. So after passing the ordinance in the assembly, it would later be taken up in the council and the bill would be.
Well, stay with us, Karthik. I'm going to quickly cut across to Tara Krishnamurthy, who is joining us, an activist from Karnataka. Tara, we're looking at the anti-conversion bill that now is taken up, will be passed likely through an ordinance. Most likely will get overwhelming support from the members of the cabinet. How would you look at this under the BJP government in Karnataka? Of course, we're looking at this coming forward in the backdrop of elections coming 11 months away in Karnataka.
Yeah, they actually already passed it in the Legislative Assembly, but they don't have a majority in the upper house, the BJP, in the Legislative Council of the state, and therefore they're looking at an ordinance route. There's also a cabinet rejig, he has said, so I think that's why he's in a tearing hurry to do this. As always, the BJP government tends to infantilize adults. They did a similar bill around love jihad as well, where they infantilized women, adult women, not giving them the choice of whom, they can choose to have as their partner or in life, husbands. Men don't have the same law, obviously. And the same goes here. You have adults, consenting adults that may be deciding to convert, and the government decides that it has the business to intervene. Very similar to what we are hearing with what the BJP is doing as far as the, monument Vapasi is concerned as well. Right? There are 1 million temples and, people are praying in them, and we have trouble upkeep of those temples. So many of those temples are dirty and not kept well. You remove your footwear and go in there, it gets dirty. Your feet get dirty. And at this stage, we are looking at, how can we try to prove that someone else's holy sites are originally yours, and, what can we do about it? If we rewind things long enough, we are going to get to the point where clearly Hindu temples have been built on top of the Buddhist viharas, and stupas have been demolished, and there are so many, Jain monuments that are temples. And you go even further, you're going to see that, a whole lot of occupation of tribal lands and tribal culture has happened.
Right. Right. Tara, thank you very much for joining us with those details. I'm going to quickly